Hello everyone, and welcome to the Paul Chandler Show. I'm your host, Paul Chandler. Today we're going to be talking about the delivery codes in the OBGYN section. So if you've ever looked at the CPT book, you notice that it's made by the AMA, the American Medical Association. And those group of doctors, there's a large group of doctors involved in the production of the CPT codes. However, though, after years of teaching the delivery codes, I personally think that the delivery section in the female anatomy was written by a group of group of guys who basically, let's just say they've never been on a date with a woman before. So they probably don't have a lot of knowledge about how deliveries work, and they made the CPT codes. So I'll be creating in a few moments an awesome display that will help you choose the delivery coding. You can write it in your CPT book and it'll make more sense on those codes. One of the issues that we have with coding deliveries is how with the antepartum, the delivery itself, and the postpartum, there are several different sections that we're looking at. So in this episode, we're going to be looking at only the delivery codes that actually involve the delivery component itself. So before we begin though, just to have a little bit recap on some terminology. So antepartum, A-N-T-E, partum, the delivery itself, and postpartum, P-O-S-T, postpartum. So antepartum, those are all the visits before the delivery occurs itself. So up to about 9 months gestational period, every visit that the doctor sees the patient for the delivery. So again, up to about 9 months. The delivery itself, anywhere between 5 minutes to a day and a half. Basically, however long the kid wants to really piss off the mom-to-be. And then postpartum. Something to remember though, that postpartum equals 6 weeks. No matter if it's vaginal delivery or cesarean delivery. Now, something you remember though too is that is a coding guideline. Remember that in the United States, every insurance carrier is allowed to make their own guidelines as well. So some insurance carriers may make postpartum 8 weeks. If they do, that's their own prerogative. As far as the coding guidelines though, postpartum equals 6 weeks. So what I'm doing on the board is I'm going to be making 3 parts to each of the grids. Because with the different variables, so we have vaginal and cesarean delivery, but within each part, so for example, the top left will be part 1, and then the bottom left, part 2. And then on the right side, we'll be doing part 3 and part 4. And what I'm going to do is to divide it a little bit more is I'm just make these lines a little bit thicker between the middle to separate the left and the right. And the middle line thing to separate the top and the bottom side of it. So now we have the 4 different sections on the grid, and I'll be using the top left for vaginal, the bottom left for cesarean, and then we're also going to be discussing VBAC, vaginal birth after cesarean, and we'll have the right side for those. So with the coding, that the first code sets that we have, for example, 59400. And on the board, I'll be putting A for antepartum, VD for vaginal delivery, and P for postpartum. So then with the coding, 59400 is including the antepartum, the vaginal delivery itself, and the postpartum. Now remember though, we cannot do a code selection to be able to choose to submit the claim until the documentation is completely done. So the doctor has to do all the services. So meaning, if you want to code a 59400, you're saying that the same doctor did all the antepartum visits. They did the delivery itself, and they did the postpartum visits. That can be 10 and a half months or so. Now that is possible. However though, doctors like to take vacation. Doctors like to go golfing. They like to get with their cop buddies and go to the donut shop and whatever they do. But also too, even though once the mom-to-be gets a due date, that's not always the date that they're actually going to give birth. So just in case, we have codes that can divide it up. So 59400, vaginal delivery, including all three steps, as I call it, beginning, middle, and end. Antepartum, vaginal delivery, and postpartum. And then the 59409, just the vaginal delivery itself. So let's say, for example, no, I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV yet. I have a show. So think of it as I graduated from Grey's Anatomy Medical University. I did watch the first 8 seasons of Grey's Anatomy. Everyone has their own favorite doctor. Once Dr. Yang left, the cardiologist, I'm sorry, it just wasn't funny. He had me until Dr. Yang leaving. I had about a good 6-7 years of ER out of like the 30 years it was on. Doogie Howser, MD. Yeah. Saying elsewhere, I was too young to see it. And if you watch Trapper John, MD, I'll just say I was not born yet. So, but let's say I'm a doctor and I'm on call. I am working my shift no matter when it is. Mom-to-be comes in, delivers the kid. Kid's coming in early. So I come in and I save the day. So then I deliver the kid, but then the mom transfers responsibility as far as the transferring care to me instead. Because she's like, oh, Dr. Chandler, you're so awesome. You saved the day. You delivered my kid. I want to see you for the next 6 weeks for postpartum. If that would happen, sure. Well, let's say if that would happen, though, then instead of the 59409 for just the delivery, I would code the 59410, which includes the vaginal delivery and the postpartum steps in there. So remembering that no matter how we're coding it, as far as, again, this is just for the vaginal delivery, we do have 3 different options. One option will include all 3 steps: antepartum, the delivery, vaginal delivery itself, and the postpartum. Second step, just vaginal delivery. And the third step, vaginal delivery with the postpartum added into it. Now, something though that you'll notice is the similarities between the next set. So while the top left, just vaginal deliveries only, the bottom left will be cesarean deliveries only. And those code sets that we have are 59510, 59514, and 59515. So if I just kind of spoiler alerted that one, how the top set can be like the bottom set, then picking up and looking at the rest of the coding options, 59510 is going to include all 3 parts. It's going to include the antepartum care visits, the cesarean delivery, so CD for cesarean delivery, and the P for the postpartum, 59514, the cesarean delivery only, and 59515, we're going to include the cesarean and the postpartum steps also. So if it's just a vaginal, just a cesarean, that's pretty simplistic, just knowing how many different steps out of the 3 variables that we have. Now, the coding issues though, and again, remember, we do have to watch the documentation specifically, is when we're dealing with the VBAC. VBAC, vaginal birth after cesarean. We still have 3 sets, but the codes, they completely change on the format. So looking at the documentation, as far as the requirements, we still have, on the right side, we're looking at the VBACs. So the top right, we will have 59610, 59612, and 59614. But the variances, though, as far as the documentation, is 59610, routine OB care including antepartum care, vaginal delivery, and postpartum care after pre-cesarean delivery. Blah, 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 blah. Translation, remember on the right side, we're under the VBAC for the coding. So mommy, at some point in the past, has a cesarean-born kid, doesn't matter when it is, but today we're coding a vaginal delivery. So we have in antepartum care, the vaginal delivery, and the postpartum care, but it's still a VBAC, meaning mommy had a cesarean-born kid sometime in the past. So 59400, just like a 59610. So filling in the rest of the box options, if the VBAC situation and only vaginal delivery we're doing today, 59612. But let's say if I am Dr. Chandler and I came in and saved the day, and the mom wants to stay with me for postpartum care, then I would do the 59614 if it's a vaginal delivery and the postpartum, instead of the 59410 if it's a VBAC situation. That'd be on the right side. Now, out of all the different options, then the last one is the one that we're going to look at. This one tends to be the most difficult as far as the documentation requirements. We still have the 3 different lines here. So I'm going to go and fill in the code numbers. 59618, 59620, and 59622. The only differences are, and looking at the descriptions, and if you look at the code itself, there's the word delivery. It's a lot in here. So translating it, that we're doing a VBAC situation where mommy had a cesarean-born kid sometime in the past. 59618, the first code, antepartum care visit. The doctor tries vaginal first. It doesn't work, so then we switch to cesarean to do the delivery and then the postpartum care. So that's what the V, arrow to the right, and then the CD stands for. Vaginal, trying it out, doesn't work, then they switch to cesarean. But no, so again, the first line option, 59618, all 3 steps. So fill in the gaps. Notice how the second row for each is just the delivery component. So vaginal delivery, attempting, it doesn't work, we switch to cesarean, and that's it, only the delivery component. And then 59622, we're going to tag on that postpartum side also. Vaginal delivery, it doesn't work, we switch to cesarean delivery, and we add the postpartum care to it there. So out of all the different options, one last thing to notate is, notice though how on the VBAC side, so we have an option for, we're doing a vaginal today, and we have an option for, we try vaginal, doesn't work, we switch to cesarean, but there's no option for, we just go straight to cesarean today. If that's the case, where yes, it's a VBAC situation, but we're only having a cesarean attempt. They don't even try vaginal, we go straight to cesarean. We code that no matter if it's a VBAC or not, just as the normal 5, 9, 5, 10, 14, and 15. So translation, if it's a VBAC situation, if no vaginal attempt is made, we just code it like a normal cesarean, just like a non-VBAC situation would. There's no extra credit, if you will, or no extra code increase, just because it's a VBAC and you do cesarean today. So if I were to do a third section, I would just be copying over the same codes there. So something we have to watch out for when you're coding the deliveries for one child, watch out for how much the doctor was involved, antepartum, postpartum, the before and after, and the delivery itself, and then also ensuring, is it a vaginal delivery or cesarean delivery, or is it the VBAC, vaginal birth after cesarean? So that's something you can, if you like to do this, you can copy this in your coding manual. I do thank you for attending this education on deliveries, and have an awesome rest of the day. If you like this video and want to see more, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's so easy. It's right there. The little button. Just push it. Subscribe. I got all night. Nothing else to do. Just subscribe.